loved my living room filled with natural light, but my TV, not so much. Battling glares with squinting, adjusting blinds, even resorting to sunglasses, nothing worked. It was time for a change, for a TV that could coexist with my aesthetic and bright living room. Now that's when I discovered the Samsung Frame TV. Just 2 days after placing my order on Amazon, my Prime membership expedited the delivery of the Samsung's latest masterpiece, the 2024 65-inch Frame TV. The best part, I got it for 2,000 Canadian, saving a cool $499 off the regular price. Now let's unbox this beauty. Inside the box, we've got the TV, the One Connect box housing all the ports and connections, a TV stand, and a bag of accessories. The bag includes the solar-powered remote, which charges with indoor light and has a USB-C port for charging, the fiber optic One Connect cable, the power cord, and all the necessary screws and documentation. The One Connect box is a game changer. By moving all the ports and connections to this external box, Samsung has slimmed down the TV to a mere 24.9mm. It has 4 HDMI 2.1 ports for the latest gaming consoles like PS5 and Xbox Series X, an Ethernet port, a coaxial input, an optical audio out for connecting a soundbar, and 2 USB ports. The included fiber optic cable is only 5 meters long and isn't rated for in-wall use. For in-wall installation, Samsung sells a longer and in-wall rated cable. Next, we have the slim fit wall mount. Mounting it isn't the most exciting part, but Samsung makes it easy. First, attach the brackets to the back of the TV with the provided screws. There are 2 lengths, longer screw for the use with the spacers if your wall isn't flush, and the shorter screws for flush walls. The bracket might seem loose, but that's intentional for flexibility. Mount the wall bracket using the provided template. Connect T1 and T2 based on your TV sizes, tape it to the wall, and mark the stud points. Use a stud finder if necessary. Drill pilot holes, ensuring they are level, and attach the wall bracket with the provided screws. In my case, I used a magnetic laser level to make sure that the bracket was leveled. The end-to-end bracket length for a 65-inch TV is 42 inches, which you can confirm from using the template or by measuring the TV bracket. I also installed a 14-inch structured media enclosure from Leviton behind the TV to house the One Connect box, with power and 2 Ethernet cables for a wired connection. I prefer hardwiring my devices whenever possible. Before mounting, I placed the One Connect box in the recessed enclosure, connected all the wires, and installed my Apple TV box. I also ran an HDMI cable through a PVC flex for easy future connections without removing the TV. Then we mounted the TV. The bracket works like a picture frame. With at least 2 people, lift the TV, align the wall and the TV bracket, connect the fiber cable, and place the hook into the wall bracket. There's a magnetic piece between the wall bracket and the TV that ensures that the TV sits flush against the wall. The general recommendation for TV mounting height is to have the center of the screen at eye level when seated. This usually translates to about 42 inches from the floor to the center of the screen. However, this can vary depending on your personal preference, furniture height, and viewing distance. In my case, since the frame is doubling as artwork above my fireplace, and I also wanted a gallery-like feel, I opted for a height of 51 inches from the floor to the bottom of the TV. Now this means the center of the screen is at 67 inches, which is my eye level when standing. It is important to note that this isn't the standard recommendation, but it works well for me and complements the aesthetics I was going for. If you're unsure about the ideal height for your specific situation, I'd recommend doing some research online or consulting with a professional. Now that it's up soaking in that glorious natural light, I'm happy to report that there is no glare. There might be TVs with better displays like the LG C3, but for me, the frame's aesthetics and the anti-glare properties were the deciding factors. I chose the modern teak bezel, but Samsung offers various styles including a metal and wood finishes, starting around 230 Canadian. There are even third-party bezels available online. This TV is equipped with SmartThings Hub, allowing it to control your smart home device. You can also monitor power usage within the SmartThings app. Samsung Tizen operating system isn't my favorite, so I paired this beauty up with the Apple TV 4K Ethernet edition for a smooth, reliable, and seamless integration with Apple HomeKit setup. While the frame supports AirPlay, I opted for the Apple TV for better audio integration with my speakers. For sound, I paired the frame with Sonos SL speakers for an immersive experience without the bulk of a soundbar.
That's breaking heads.
The TV's built-in speakers are decent, but this setup delivers incredible sound while maintaining the sleek aesthetics. I've put this TV through its paces with high-octane action films and breathtaking documentaries. Picture quality is fantastic. Colors are rich and vibrant. Blacks are deep and motion is buttery smooth. Whether I'm watching a movie or playing video game, the frame delivers an immersive experience. When you're not actively watching something, it transforms into a beautiful piece of art. But what's really cool is that art mode is actually designed to be energy efficient. The TV automatically adjusts the brightness to match the ambient light in the room, so it's not wasting energy when you're not using it. Plus, since it uses QLED panel instead of OLED, you don't have to worry about burn-ins, so you can leave your favorite artwork on display without any worries. So, is the 2024 Samsung 65-inch frame TV worth the investment? So after living with the Samsung Frame TV for a while, I can confidently say it's worth every penny. It solves my glare problem, elevated the looks of my living room, and delivers an amazing viewing experience. If you're looking for a stylish TV that performs beautifully, especially in bright rooms, the frame is the way to go. One thing I've noticed though is that fingerprints are pretty noticeable on the matte finish. If you have any tips for cleaning it, drop them in the comment section below. Thanks for joining me on this exploration of my new home gadget. If you have questions, drop them in the comment section. I'll include helpful links in the description. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bells for more tech designs and explorations. Until next time, peace.